There's gotta be some kind of truth in what I'm saying.
Well, welcome to Whiskey, Weights and Whey. I'm Chuck.
I'm Zach.
Today, we're just going to bullshit around, I guess.
Yeah.
No plan, no topic, nothing.
No, nothing.
Just wanted to drink and hang out for a minute.
Me too. It's been one of those weeks.
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to cut it out of this, I will. But yeah, last night when I got a notification for sound and opened it up and I hear, you fucking kidding me? I thought like something had happened in the gym, like somebody had broke in or something.
No. It's just taking a little frustration out on the weights. It's just one of those things where, like, my current job, I'm on call 24/7. So it's like, it's hard to find like peace and peaceful moments because you're just always attached to your device. You're always attached to somebody needing you. And, last night I had a petition out. So I was just kind of waiting in the wings for the hospital to call and say, he's ready to be evaluated. And so it's just like, I'm going to sneak in and get my workout in.
Yeah.
Like I made it a purposeful thing, an intentional thing to make sure that I'm hitting my workout every single day. Like, no questions asked. I don't care if I'm hungover. I don't care if I feel bad. I'm going to do it. It may not be like 100%.
Yeah. Something.
But like, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
well, speaking of, what did you do today?
Man, it's just one of those nitty gritty hard workouts. So start off with a mile, do 7 rounds of 3 dumbbell burpee deadlifts, and then dumbbell hang clings. And then you go back into a mile. And then you do
the first mile.
And then you go 10 rounds of 10 goblet squat, 7 rounds of 10 goblet squats, and then kettlebell swings. And then you finish with a mile.
Speaking of that right there, that's your workout written on the whiteboard over here on the floor. One of Alex's clients came in and saw that and thought that's what they were doing for the group class. And it started with a warm up of 1 mile and a cool down of 100 abs. They almost left. We had to tell them, no. That was Zach.
That was hilarious. His workout. Yeah, that's hilarious. But man, y'all been getting a lot of influx with the groups lately.
Yes, Alex's groups are blowing up. We're actually trying to expand that back corner so she has more room.
Heck yeah.
Rubber is not cheap. Ain't nothing cheap these days, though.
No.
Speaking of cheap, this ain't cheap.
I was about to say, what are we doing?
No. Well, I didn't work out today, and I didn't eat much today either. So this is probably going to hit me hard.
Yeah.
I went to the ABC store trying to find some of the bottles that people have been recommending, but cannot find any of them. I actually went to the one up in Pelham that has a huge selection. And I asked for someone by name, and they didn't even recognize them. But this one was Wild Turkey, and it was an offshoot of it called Long Branch.
Okay.
I like Wild Turkey, so I figure we.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm going up to Make-A-Wish final weekend and first weekend of June up in Chattanooga. So I need to make it where I pick up some whiskey from Chattanooga while I'm up there.
Yeah.
You need to remind me.
I will. Because I'm getting broke supplying all the whiskey. Man, we already went through like 6 bottles since we've been doing the show. Chin, chin.
Chin, chin.
Uh-uh.
We got to look in each other's eyes.
Chin, chin. Yeah, I ain't having bad sex for life. If you don't get that reference, go back and watch, what is it, like episode 3?
Something like that. Marley would be proud. She was our drink tour guide in Italy.
I bet that was so much fun.
God, it was great. Man, it was great.
Well, hopefully the quality is much better than what it was going to be. I don't know if you know exactly what happened, but when we did the competition a couple weeks ago, a buddy of mine who was helping me set up, great guy, he did not do it. It was not his fault. It was my fault because he was taking pictures of everything as he was unplugging it to replug it back up outside. And I said, no, don't worry about it. I know where everything goes. I know all the cables. Well, then I got wrapped up doing something else, and he was trying to do it without bothering me. And he plugged a 24-volt cord into an 8-volt camera. So that thing got fried. But this one, it's the same camera. We just bought a new one, and it showed up 20 minutes before airing, or before we started recording this.
I was wondering why you left the gym.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought we were supposed to start at like 6. But, well, I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, it got delivered at like 5:55. I was like, I'm going to run home and get this real quick so we don't have a little cheap webcam.
Gave you a chance to obviously like not dry off, but cool down.
Well, at least catch your breath. Yeah.
At least catch my breath, yeah. Well, that's great, man.
Oh,
Like
yes. It was definitely needed with all the shows that we got coming up live streaming.
So what's the next show?
Next one's June 1st. It's West Alabama's Mighty Midgets and Teen Titans.
Okay.
It's a kids comp, so I think the youngest you can be is 5 up to 18.
That's really cool.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's really cool. This is gonna be the second year.
Yeah.
The guy who runs it, Garrett, he was the judge for our very first competition. Like he
I
offered to
remember
do
him.
it. Yeah.
Didn't he compete in this last one?
Yeah, he competed
Yeah.
in our show, and me and him competed against each other last weekend at the Battle of the Forge.
Yeah.
Well, not against each other. He was in a different weight class. He's a little bit stronger than me, but he's done a phenomenal job putting this kid comp together.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to go up there and stream it. This will be the first time we've streamed that show.
Yeah.
And they're inside. Last year it was outside,
Yeah.
which was nice. The weather was nice, but in June,
You just never know.
oh, I was fried.
You just never know.
I got
And-
sunburned from this one in April.
Didn't you say Alex is going to be emceeing it?
Yes. So, you know, I didn't have an MC for our last show, so I pretty much did it myself. And as the day got longer, I started talking less and less. And I handed the mic off to Alex for the last event because I had to jump in and start loading weight.
Right.
And Garrett called me. He said, "Hey, how much would it be for Alex to MC?" And I was like, "Well, I could do it for you, you know." And he goes, "No offense, but man, she blew you out the water when she got on that mic." I said, "No offense taken." Alex is just not. She's not as. I can't think of the word. Like she's not as prone to jump on the mic and talk. She's very outgoing and she's way more extrovert than I am.
Yeah.
But I'm way more comfortable with public speaking than she is.
Well, you've probably had more opportunity to public speak. I mean, you go around to all these stores and you
Yeah.
have to like give big team meetings and things like that,
Yeah.
safety briefings.
And getting into the point where, and I go back to Target again, you know, accredit it to loss prevention. I had to talk to people who I didn't
Yeah.
want to talk to. And so I got comfortable with talking to everybody.
It's, you know, it's crazy that the more that you do something, even if it's uncomfortable, like naturally you're going to get better at it.
Yeah.
Like I still don't enjoy getting in front of crowds, but like I don't mind it anymore. Like Make-A-Wish, you have to get up and talk through some info sessions. And usually we got like 40, 50 people there. You know, Friday we were part of a mental health panel for Shelby County High School.
Okay.
So we have an auditorium of like 250 kids. And so they get to ask questions and you're on the spot to answer them. So usually like, you know, 2 or 3 years ago, that'd been like nerve wracking, but now it's just like second nature.
I don't know if I could go back to my high school public speaking teacher, she would not believe that I was an MC for any show or doing a YouTube channel,
Right.
or even talking on the mics anywhere. But because I had to do a speech at my graduation, dude, that was the shakiest conversation I ever had with myself.
Yeah.
Voice trembling, cracking, sound like I was going through puberty.
Probably were.
No, I was not going through puberty at that point. I was well out of it. I had facial hair.
Hair down to your ass.
Yeah. And on my ass. Yeah. But I think a lot of it too was doing this channel because we started this during COVID and I was in the garage doing exercise reviews and equipment reviews on stuff that I was getting.
Right.
And if you go back and watch those, I'm so dead tone, just like Bono. Because I took 30, 40 recordings. And by the time I got to the one that was actually the good take, I was so exhausted and pissed off. I sounded like this right here. Like, if you just do this, you can. And I know it sounds horrible, but I've got one of those videos got like 30,000 views. People go back and I get comments on them now about the leg press.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get, I think talking on camera to myself and seeing how it sounds has got me more comfortable with the way I talk.
Yeah. It is just like repetition, you know, and stuff like especially like when I write music, I have to listen to it over and over again. So I'll record one way, record it a different way just to see which ones I like the best. And it's just like, you almost get tired of your own voice.
Well, you perform live. So, I mean,
but there's like, you know, it's weird because there's always a barrier. So like there's either a guitar between me and the people, or there's just a mic. And so there's something about that space that's created that you're like, I feel protected.
Okay.
So
I know I was at this last weekend, I was at the Battle of the Forge, and there was a guy named Daniel Tate there, and he runs a show out in Mississippi. And I know he works with Red Brick Rumble, but he also, I'm blanking and I feel bad because if he watches this, it's gonna look like an asshole because I don't remember which one he does. But there's the Red Brick Rumble, which he helped with. He actually played music at the show, and he runs another one, and I'm blanking on the name. But anyway, we were talking about public speaking and stuff,
Yeah.
and he plays music live like you do, and he was telling me like he was good at a show. It was one of his early shows, and like he was at a bar, nobody was paying attention. He was just playing his music. He was in his own. And then somebody got up from the table and went to the bathroom, but they made eye contact with him. He's like, I immediately lost all the words. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I do better when I have engagement. Like if
Yeah.
I'm just talking to a crowd with no one talking back, I'm going to
Yeah.
stutter. I'm going to fall over my words. I'm going to forget what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if somebody asks me a question and I can talk to a single person in the crowd,
Oh, you're good.
oh, it could be millions of people and I'll be talking to one person. I'll be fine.
It's like I when I was just doing outpatient therapy with adults, one of my favorite things to do was group therapy.
Mm.
I had a men's group and I had a women's group and I had a co-ed group, but it's great. I mean, you had like 10 to 15 people in a small room, and most of the time they were engaged. You have a few that are just like going to sit back and just soak in and listen to everything and not say a word the whole damn time, which is fine. But they're still kind of bringing it in. But it's so good, like, because you would just prompt questions like, in this situation, what were you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, does anybody else have similar situations? Because most of the time, circumstances are across the board and universal. So it's just good seeing multiple people give their experience and be able to like engage with other people in a public setting. Because I don't know if it's just like the fact that we're always behind a keyboard or a screen, but I feel like our communication skills, like in person, have like diminished.
Oh yeah.
I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like to me.
Well, we're also starting to date ourselves because I would rather pick up the phone and have a conversation with you than to text.
Right.
And I know you're not probably the same way I am.
No, I love.
But like, I guess that comes from work too, because I hate sending emails and waiting on a response. I'd rather just pick up the phone, get the answer, and go.
Right. And I also like paper trails.
I do like, when it's something important, I do like paper trails. But like, what was it the other day? It was a buddy of mine. He was doing a comp in September, the Southeastern Strongman, and he was asking me to get with my t-shirt vendor for a quote. Well, I got it. And instead of just forwarding it to him, I called him. I was like, hey, I got the quote, walked him through a little bit and just heads up, you're going to meet this email so you didn't miss it. In my mind, it was like, so you don't miss it.
Right.
But it was really just because it was easier to call him and say, hey, here's the quote.
Right.
Instead of forwarding an email, waiting for a response.
Right.
And thankfully, he's about our age too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's 6 months younger than me. I mean, like he's a lot younger. But he called me the other night to ask a question. We talked for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that a lot of people talking on the phone anymore.
It's very rare. Like I like the idea of text and email because it gives you an opportunity to think through a response. You can answer it at your leisure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there is something genuine about just like having to pick up the phone call and make that phone call.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you need immediate answers. And I will do that. I'll shoot a text like, hey, blah, 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 what about this?
Mm-hmm.
If I don't hear it and if it's like critical, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna call. Like, hey, I just want to check in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't tell you the last time I had an extended conversation on the phone with somebody.
Just chat.
I mean,
like 2 days ago for me.
Not
even counting my wife and like my mom or something, like just a
I don't know the last time I talked to my wife on the phone. It's probably been years. Like, and that is like not even an exaggeration.
Really?
Yeah.
I talk to Alex probably 5 times a day on the phone.
Absolutely not. I can't tell you. I could go through and see when the last time it won't even show up.
Alex and I have had 7 phone calls today.
January the 21st was
the
last time that and it was for 32 seconds. Like,
okay.
That is
if you're watching or you're listening along, please comment below the last conversation you had with your spouse. How long ago was it? Like mine was today. I had 7 phone calls with Alex. And I mean, not like just, hey, answer a quick question and go. Like, hey, what you up to? How the kids? Like 2 to 3 minute conversations. Let's see, minute and a half, 3 minutes. I think there was one that was less than a minute. So, and that's a daily occurrence for me and her.
No, absolutely not.
So I want to know,
But like,
if anybody pays attention to the show and comments, let me know last time you talked to your significant other on the phone for more than 30 seconds. How long ago was it? Yours was January.
January. That's the last time it shows in my phone that we
I
had a
think
conversation.
we've talked on the phone since then.
We talked on the phone like earlier this week, I think.
Yeah.
For personal calls today, I got attorney 1, attorney 2, Shelby Psych ER, Shelby Psych Adult,
That ain't personal. That's work.
DH. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
No personal calls.
Oh, okay. 1,
We
2,
just-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 work calls. So not
Okay.
count Alex. That's another thing. We have people at work sometimes and they may watch this and I don't care, but my boss has come to me. He's like, I've had complaints about you. I'm like, what are you talking about? They think that you're not working. Like, why do you think I'm not working? Well, because you run a gym and you got YouTube and you do all this other stuff. I was like, Alex runs the gym. I work out of the gym. I don't run the gym. My YouTube, it's 7:00 at night right now. We're filming
Right.
a video, and the other ones are Saturdays. My Instagram and stuff, you can schedule that stuff.
Right.
He's like, I know. But then I was like, I don't care anyway. I said, because you know what? I'm answering phone calls at 9:00 at night.
Right.
Like 7 a.m.
And that's the thing. It's like we in America feel we are still so old school. You've got to be sitting your ass in a chair
Mhm.
40, 50 hours a week. You
Yep.
can't. So like, I'm getting my job done. I'm not working every second of every single day. That's
Yeah.
absurd.
Yeah.
But like, I should have the freedom to be able to manage my own schedule and have downtime when I'm not doing things, as long as my actual core roles are getting
Yeah.
completed.
And I will say that's one great thing about my boss. He is very much of the mindset, work till the job's done.
Yeah.
Because your salary. You're getting paid regardless of what you work.
Right.
He said, so I expect the job to get done. If it takes me 20 hours a week, it takes me 60 hours a week.
Right.
And like perfect example of that was before I went on paternity leave back in January, we had to submit everything for OSHA 300, like
Mhm.
every incident for every store for the whole company. And I had to go through and organize it all. I submitted it at 10:30 on a Saturday night because I was taking paternity the next week. And I knew
Right.
he wouldn't have all the data. He'd be calling me anyway.
Right.
So like, yeah, I worked it was Friday night through Saturday night to
Right.
finalize it because she came 2 weeks early. So I had a crunch time.
But yeah, I mean, like for example, like yesterday, I typically work at 8 to 4:30. Like that's my typical actual work schedule. But then like took multiple phone calls after hours, coordinating, ambulance, sheriff's pickups and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And then had to go up to the ER to do an evaluation, had to drive home, type up the evaluation, send it to the judge, let her review it, wait around until she reviewed it, sent the dismissal, called the ER again. So it's like, it wasn't just like, oh, you went out to the hospital and did an eval. There's
Yeah.
like hours of work built in there.
Yeah.
But to quantify that, and
I wish we got paid hourly.
man,
Well, changing subjects. Are you for sure like 100% in Colorado? Okay. I think Scott's going to join us too.
Mhm.
So August 10th, we'll be live streaming Colorado Strongest from this channel. And it'll be me, you, Alex, and Scott driving up there. Man, that's going to be a rough road trip. We're going to have to take turns driving because it's 21 hours one way.
yeah. So me and my brother-in-law Michael,
Mhm.
we went from Alabama straight to the Tetons. It's 23 hours straight, and that's what we did. We just
Mhm.
like swapped in. We had a little pallet built in the back seat of the Tacoma.
Yeah.
That way, we slept when we want to sleep, and stopping at coffee. We literally stopped to piss, drink coffee, get food.
That's the plan.
And so
Gas and food. That's it.
we'll leave out Thursday morning,
Yeah, like 3 in the
drive
morning.
straight,
We'll
get there
get
Friday morning some point.
probably Friday around lunch or something.
Okay.
Enough time for us to go check out the venue, set up everything, and then crash hard, get up Saturday, run the show to its extent.
Yeah.
Maybe go have dinner with whoever wants to have dinner with us if they like us enough.
Yeah.
And then get up Sunday at like 2 a.m. because we're going to gain time coming back.
Right.
We're going to lose it going out.
That's fine.
But we'll get back. My plan is to get back by Monday around crack it on.
Okay.
That way, if we want to go to work, we can. If we want to take PTO, we can.
Maybe a work from home day.
Yeah, same.
I think that Saturday, while y'all are doing the comp, I'm going to go do Pikes Peak.
Nice.
I think I can follow they have Pikes Peak Marathon,
Mhm.
which starts downtown Colorado Springs, and it's 13 miles up to the 14,000 foot summit.
Depending on how good your service is up there, which probably is going to be horrible. Maybe we can live stream and I can pop up the pictures from the mountain on the screen. So
Yeah, but hey,
Well, anything, I know you finished up the Make-A-Wish stuff for the first leg of it, and you got the next leg in June 1st. Anything else coming up that you're working on?
no, I think we're going to do the Barbarian Challenge in Gadsden.
It depends. I got to look at the price. It was supposed to raise soon, and if it's gone up, I'm broke.
I think I'm still going to do it regardless. And then I think it went up like $10. I don't think
it was already.
What was
It was already like $80.
Was it?
Yeah, let's see. Register now.
What we got? No, you got to continue.
There we go. All right. So, okay, it's still 75 right
Okay.
now. When does it go up? I think it's supposed to go up this week. That's 10K obstacle, no competition. If you want to do the elite, that was at $85. If you wanted to actually be competitive.
I'm not going to be competitive. I just want to do it for fun.
I'm a kid at heart. It's only $20. I think if you volunteer, you get the next year free.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably going to do that in June for fun, and then I really want to go up and do the Spartan Ultra in South Carolina. So it's like a 50K.
When is that one?
It's the same week you're going down, I think.
Well, that's not confirmed yet, but
okay.
I sent him my quote today. We'll see
I
if he accepts it. Well, I didn't even tell you I didn't work out today. Like we were talking about what we did today.
Yeah.
I skipped because I am still sore from Saturday. That was a rough show. But I mean, it was a great show.
Yeah.
It was rough on me.
Because what did you play second?
I got second in my class.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And even though there was only 3 of us, so it was kind of an automatic podium, it was still a good battle.
Yeah.
Nobody won first of every event. There was a guy who won 4 out of 5, but I won 1 of them. And then like we kind of, me and the guy below me, the guy that came in third, we bounced around. He beat me in a couple. I beat him in a couple. It was a good race.
Well, good.
None of us outlifted one another. It was all came down to time.
Yeah.
So like we all failed at the same spots, the same weights on like ladders.
Yeah.
But Jordan was just a little bit faster than both of us every time. He's a talented athlete. He's out of I think he's out of West Alabama. He might be a little north. I think he's close to where you're from.
Okay.
Young guy, and he's got a lot of talent, a lot of potential. So I'm excited to see where he goes with this. I think this was his first win as an open. I know he's podium, but I think this might have been his first win.
Okay.
Me and him went head to head in my very first show. He came in first, and in the novice, I came in 4th, and he was the only one to beat me in like 2 events. I was so mad that I got bumped all the way down to 4th. But I was hoping this would be my revenge.
Right.
Yeah.
You always get the next one.
I don't know, man. At this point, I think unless the show is just catered to the events that I like, I'm probably going to step back from competing, focus more on
the behind the scenes thing.
Yeah, the live streaming, and get back to looking good. Like I bulked up. I went 40 pounds from 21 to 23, and then I'm cutting back down now. But I just don't feel comfortable sitting at 220.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get back down to 190 range, and if I compete, all I could do either the 200 class or the 181. Cut if it's a highly competitive one, I'll cut down to a lighter class.
Right.
But like local shows, I'll do 200.
Really good, dude.
Still trying to get you in one. Just for one, like you got to experience it one time.
I will eventually.
You made me do a 10K. I can make you do a novice class.
Is that the same though?
Yeah. Depending on the show, yeah.
Okay. I'll put it on my highly consideration.
Oh. What do you think of this whiskey?
It's good. It's smooth.
It is. You want a little bit more before we finish out the show? Or?
Yeah, I'll take a little bit more.
Clear this one up. Whew. I got to be careful, though, again, because Alex has been meal prepping, so I haven't been eating as much.
Yeah.
She made some buffalo mac and cheese today.
good.
Oh, so good. Got little bacon flakes in it. And really low calorie considering what all was in it. But,
Yeah.
you know, portion control, having a set plate instead of getting as much as I want is making me. I've cut a lot. I've dropped like 5 pounds in the last 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
I am very hungry right now, and this is pretty
That's
stout.
the thing is like I eat the same thing every single day, day in and day out. It switches up every like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Um,
you change it up like maybe every 2 weeks.
like we do meal prep. Katie does meal prep, and so I'll have like chicken operated and broccoli for 2 weeks for lunch, and then switch it to chicken and rice and broccoli.
Alex has
next
been
day.
doing meal preps for us. She'll cook on like Monday or Sunday,
Yeah,
and we'll have stuff for the week. But Zappapans is at least once a week now.
same.
Yeah,
As you know.
yeah, it's normally with y'all. Thank you for being so flexible because we get so much shit. We've invited people, and after about the third no, they're like, "You got to let us know more than an hour in advance."
Well, so typically we've got like a 48-hour rule. Like if we don't know 48 hours, but since y'all are neighbors and typically I'm up here working out when y'all are about to go to Zaps, like it works out where we can like pull a trigger really quick.
Well, and the thing is, like half the time, our decision is made
Based on if we're gonna go.
either yes or no from y'all, or like we decide we don't want to cook tonight,
Yeah.
and it's like, all right, do we want to invite Zach and Katie? And it's always a yes, do we want to? But
I will say that if y'all invite us
mhm,
and if Katie doesn't have an event,
yeah,
it's gonna be a yes. And if she does have an event, there's a good chance it's going to be a yes from me, and I will solo you.
well, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there now because it's more than 48 hours away. Possibly Sunday after the podcast, if we do a podcast.
Okay, because I know we're going up to North Alabama to have lunch,
Mhm.
and we're supposed to swing by the pool
Mhm.
for a little bit, and so
Well, we're going to take May to a movie. She's obsessed with going to the movie, or not obsessed, but she gets so excited now when we offer a movie theater.
yeah,
We did a daddy-daughter date a couple weeks
I saw
ago.
the pictures. Yeah, that's so sweet.
It was the Sunday after effing strong,
Yeah.
and I felt guilty because like I didn't see her all day. When I got home,
Right.
she went to bed immediately and stuff. So I told her the day before the comp, I was like, Sunday we're gonna have a daddy-daughter date, and she practiced saying it the whole time we were in the car. She goes, "How do I say it?" I said, "Daddy-daughter date." Daughter, daddy date. I was like, "Yeah, that works." And she goes, "No, no, 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 no. How do I?" And she wanted to say it perfect.
Right.
And she's like, she kept repeating, "We're going to get popcorn, we're going to get Skittles, we're going to get Sprite." So I got all three. Spent so freaking much.
God.
I bought a set of small Sprite. The thing was huge.
Yeah.
So popcorn and got a bag of Skittles. I think I spent $60
That's about right.
at the concession. Oh no, it was $45 at the concession for those three things, and it was $20 for the tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was a kid ticket. Oh,
It's pricey.
I know. And now I'm taking me, Alex, and her this Sunday. That's gonna
We're gonna have to sneak in some candy like we used to do back in the day.
be so. That's a funny story. When we were in high school, me and my friends, they opened up the movie theater in the Colonnade. So all the Colonnade in Alabaster was woods when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So about, I guess 2004, 2003, they bought out all the houses, tore it down, built the whole promenade and colonnade over there, and they put the movie theater in. So when we were 14, 15, 16, the cool thing to do was go to the movies. And the people who were old enough to drive would pack in the car, go sit in the parking lot. And we got to the point where it was like 60+% of us were 16. So we were all able to bring multiple cars. We went all the way up to Pelham and went to the Golden Corral to eat one night. We were like, we're going to go see King Kong, the one I think was like Jack Black. It's a midnight premiere. So we were like, we're going to get some snacks and stuff. We went to Golden Corral, bought the all-you-can-eat buffet, went to the candy bar, got napkins loaded down with gummy bears, gummy worms, all that stuff, packed our jackets because it was freezing cold. So we had these huge, thick jackets. So we drinks, snacks, everything from Golden Corral and the gas station. Go into the movie. We were doing the midnight premiere of King Kong. It's like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
We come out and it's 3 or 4 in the morning. No other cars in the parking lot but ours. It was like 4 of us, 4 cars and 10 of us. And my buddy's driving this like 60s model Mustang. and there's no defrost, no heat, nothing. So we all jump in, we crank it. We're out there scraping the windshield with credit cards, trying to get out of there. And we start driving out. And I'm in the back seat, and the guy in the front seat all of a sudden looks out his window and he goes, "Why is there a median on my side?" And we were going out the end, going up by like where Chick-fil-A is. But luckily, I mean, it was 3 a.m. There was nobody there. But he was the only 16-year-old driving. Like, he was driving in our car. Everybody else in our car was 15. It was like, just wait for a cop to pull us over at 3 a.m.
Right. My gosh.
But yeah, packing our pockets full of gummy bears and stuff from Golden Corral. That was a fun memory. We used to do that regularly.
Yeah, that's what we used to do. We used to like the Dollar Tree or whatever beforehand and get some Mike and Ike's and be done with it.
It's just so nice seeing her get excited when I go up to there and get it.
That's so sweet.
So
sweet.
So what y'all going up to? You said you're going back home for Sunday for lunch?
Yeah, we couldn't do Mother's Day. I think Dad had gotten Mom like a what was the Pretty Woman, the musical that came through.
Oh, yeah.
So they had gotten tickets and they already planned the day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of going up and just having lunch, and then my sister's opening up the pool.
Nice.
And so we're just gonna go chill by the pool for a little bit.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be good to see everybody.
I know my day feels a lot better now.
Mine too. Man, it was pretty jam-packed and stressful day.
Mm-hmm.
But like I knew I needed to come in and kick my own ass with the workout, and that was just fantastic. And then
Don't get too sore now, because Saturday we're gonna max out everything, right? You still in?
I'm gonna have to squeeze it in sometime between now and Saturday.
No,
I'm heading up to the Sipsy.
I got you.
Disappear for a little bit.
All right. Well, just let me know what day you want to do it.
Okay.
All right.
Max out. I haven't maxed out anything. Lord, this is not going. It's not going anywhere, is it?
It's going to go on our social media, but like in the online competition, like we'll post it on our Ellison Fitness. So what it is garage gym competition started. I want to say it started during the pandemic or maybe the year before.
Okay.
I think it was actually pre-pandemic. It was a small community at first that they wanted to test their personal bests, but they didn't want to do commercial, like the actual competitions, and kind of like what we do with F and Strong. You know, it's a way to people to just test themselves, and have fun.
I gotcha.
Well, this guy, I think his name's Joe. He has grown it so much over the last 4 to 5 years. It started off I think it was just like a couple hundred people from across the U.S.
Yeah.
They submitted their numbers. They took it and did a Wilks score, so it took like body weight and count, age, and stuff like that, and they did scores. But then he's grown it now to where they have it twice a year, and we're a host gym. We're one of like I think 10 or 15 host gyms in the country, or across the world, and now it's worldwide. They had thousands of people competing in it last year.
Oh, that's cool.
And every time we do it, we get all of our clients that are willing to compete, and we invite people from outside the gym to come and do it. And it's not, all right, here's my numbers. Do I win a prize? It's that there is prizes for like the top lifters based off of categories, but there's also, it's raffle drawings.
Okay.
He's got sponsors that I have been like trying my damnedest to get to sponsor some of our shows.
Mm-hmm.
He's got great connections. He actually sent me a list of sponsors and said, these are the guys who'll probably respond to you. He really nice guy.
Awesome.
Like he's Ward's Smelling Salts. Like the people who like they provide smelling salts for every one of our comps.
Yeah.
He got me connected with them. You know, my very first time competing in this, I got my name drawn for a bottle of Ward Smelling Salts 2.5 years ago. It was a metal container. I haven't replenished that yet. Like it's still, and salts don't normally last that long.
Yeah.
Link in the bio. But it's a metal container, so it keeps it sealed a lot better.
Yeah.
And dude, like I still use that exact same bottle from 2.5 years ago. But all I'm saying, it's time for the spring comp.
I got you.
But it always falls on the same weekend as Battle of the Forge. Last year, I came in sore. I barely could get my. Oh, no. Last year, we had just moved in here. I spent all week moving every piece of equipment into this building, and I was dog tired. And I shot him a message. I was like, I really want to put my numbers in. I said, but they are going to be garbage. Can I do it on Sunday? And he's like, I pull all the numbers Sunday afternoon. He goes, you got to get it in to count. And I was like, okay, well, I did it Sunday, and it was garbage numbers. The fall one, we came around, I did better, but this is going to be the same situation this year. It's going to be garbage numbers because I'm sore from Saturday.
Yeah. I don't lift really heavy anyway. So
I mean, this last one we did in fall, one of the girls she was anti. She's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I was like, look, it's not about trying to beat somebody else. It's about just getting the best out of yourself.
yeah,
So it's not a limit on how many attempts. It's not super strict on form and depth and everything else. It's not like a powerlifting competition. We got 3 judges.
right.
So she's like, okay, fine. I'll just do my best. Her entry won $500 gift card.
Oh wow.
And I mean, thankfully she's part of the gym. So we put it back into the gym. And I tell everybody, I'm like, she's the reason why we got 2 sets of like 20 resistance bands.
Yeah.
And she's also the reason why we got the 30 and 20 pound slam or medicine ball that's in there, or wall ball. That's cool. And she actually kind of cussed me out. She's like, I didn't know me entering this was going to torment me more. Because Alex makes her use that 30-pound medicine ball.
Right. Love it. I freaking love it. Mm. No. Nobody cares.
Train harder.
Yeah.